And thanks everybody for tuning in to Stars War. This is Railcoon and Elaine. You can visit our Twitters, twitter.com/iCCupRailcoon, and I don't know, twitter.com/ElaineSun. Is there a dash in there? I don't remember. Elaine?
Elaine_Sun, sorry.
Oh, underscore. Okay, so Elaine_Sun. Of course, you can follow iCCupTV on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We just switched over to Justin TV, so if you like what you're seeing here, make sure you click that the follow button. Let you know when we're going live. We switched over yesterday, actually, so fresh stream. Make sure you realize that we're actually on a different service. But are you ready to go here with game number 2?
Yep.
Okay, so let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright everyone, welcome back. This is Railcoon with Elaine. Thanks for tuning in to iCCup Television with our continued coverage of Gigabyte Stars War number 6. Gigabyte.com, of course, are the sponsors. Wonderful producer of motherboards. Top of the line, really great quality, used by a lot of the top computer companies. So if you're looking to build your own computer, and you're checking things out, Gigabyte motherboards definitely going to be one of your top choices. And they're doing a pretty good job by supporting this tournament. It's got a long history. This is pretty much an annual tournament that's in the 6th time around. StarCraft 2 got added last year. It was the first big StarCraft 2 tournament in the world. And this is the 2nd time they've run it. We've got a really good player pool, and we've got game number 2 between Rhett and San. Unfortunately, we're on close positions on Metalopolis, and this is going to be a really good match, but in these positions on this map, it's actually a shorter rush distance than Steps of War, so it tends to end in very short games most of the time. You can see that Rhett's going to be down 1 game so far in this series, and is going to be the blue Zerg and the 6 o'clock position. And San, with the 1 game advantage, is going to be the red Protoss at the 3 o'clock position. And San actually placed his pylon in a position like he wants to fast expand, which that is extremely risky, seeing as he actually already scouted close spawns and sees a spawning pool first from Rhett. Oh my god, San, you are insane. Okay, I thought he was actually going to drop a 14 Nexus, because he actually walked over there and he had almost 300 minerals. If he actually dropped a Nexus, I was just going to flat out say, San, you are the ballsiest Protoss I've ever seen. But he does actually play a little bit more safely. He does drop the Forge. So does give the opportunity for him to go for some cannon shenanigans.
This
I don't know.
isn't the best map or position for that, because, if you get, say, Shakir's Plateau, you have a small choke to defend with, and you can cover that with very few cannons. Same with Terminus, etc. But with this, you do have a somewhat open natural with, an opening in the front that you would usually go through, but also through this 3rd base over here. So Zerglings could sneak through. It's very difficult to cover the entire area. Zerglings could run into the mineral line easily. He has to be extremely careful about his building placement in order to hold this position. But I think Rhett is going to play at Rhett style, see the Zerg expansion, and just take maybe a 3rd base. That's what he does very often when he sees his opponents go for that fast expansion.
The problem
or he
is,
might, go at July style and just Rambo this.
Yeah, the problem is taking a 3rd base on this map in these positions isn't as safe as it normally would be. If you take that quick 3rd base, where are you going to place it? You can put it on the golds, you can put it over here in the bottom right, you can put it all the way on the left side of the map. The main thing is, when you go for that quick 3rd base, there is actually a timing in which the Protoss can hit you, but you're relying on that being a little bit weaker because they went for the fast expansion. But these positions make up for that, and the fact that it's only going to take San about 10 seconds to get to his natural. So that'd actually be really risky because of these positions. Something that, it would be easy for somebody to forget, since almost every other tournament has excluded these positions in their map pool. This map pool was set a long time ago, before people started editing maps and forcing spawns. So that's why we're in this situation. But you can see Rhett actually teching up to a layer instead of dropping a 3rd hatch. And I think that is a good decision, because the 3rd hatchery, if he did try to do this in these close ground spawns on metal, would probably put him into a lot of trouble against some sort of a timing from San.
Well, it's actually not too difficult to take a third because when the Protoss does early expand, he's not going to have a force that's big enough to both defend against counterattack and take out a third base. But then again, it's what he's doing, getting the layers right now, is not a bad decision at all because it is easy for him to actually push out with huge aggression once he does get these bases set up. It's really dangerous for actually he's put down a Stargate instead. He's going for a two-base Stargate play. I'm really not sure what it will do because we haven't seen these positions on Metalopolis in so long in PvZ with a Stargate. It's really difficult to predict, but Rhett has a Roach Warren down. He's probably going to get a Hydra Den. If he gets the Hydra Den up in time, he should be fine, and he just put it down. So his build might counter what San is doing exactly.
Yeah, if we look at the drone count, you can see there's 36 drones to the 29 now, 30 probes of San. The main question mark here is going to be how many Phoenixes do we get from San? How quickly are they going to come? How many Hydras does Rhett make? Because the Hydra versus Phoenix matchup is generally pretty good once you get enough Hydras. But if you skimp on the Hydras early on, the Phoenixes will just perpetually lift them off and kill them before you can hit that good number. So Rhett, is he aware of this Stargate? Oh, well, yeah,
he's had an Overlord in the base sitting above the Stargate for 3 minutes. So he knew exactly what was going on, and a Hydra Den builds so fast that he's already going to have the Hydra range upgrade by the time those Phoenixes get enough numbers to go attack him. So he should be absolutely fine. He already has 3 Hydras, 3 Hydras out, 4 more on the way. So there's really nothing San can do. He needs to just kind of give up this Phoenix harass and progress onto his next thing, and he's putting down 3 gateways now, so that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, the problem is going for the Phoenixes and then transitioning into gateways. Hydras are really good against gateway units, so when you're doing a build with these early Phoenixes, it's going to force your opponent to make Hydras. Transitioning into gateways isn't really a very natural response, because you're forcing your opponent to make a certain unit, and then you're not countering it. So this could be rather troublesome here for San if he doesn't play this right.
Yes.
I mean, you can see Rhett attacking pretty aggressively here with his first couple Hydras. That's not even a lot of Hydralisks, but he takes down the couple cannons that are here in the front, going to work on these assimilators, really limiting the amount of gas that San has. But if you look, he's got 600 in the bank, now 400. He's still got a good amount of gas, and more Hydras coming in to reinforce, and San's only on gateway units, which is not what you want to be on against Hydralisks.
Well, Red actually attacked at basically the perfect time. San chose that time to put down 5 gateways at once, which meant that all of his gateways were building. He had 0 units, and Red pushed in at the perfect time. San has almost nothing to defend, and he's going to be reinforced much faster than San at this point, so it's actually GG. His build was just completely countered by Brett. He should have given up when he saw the Overlord, saw his Stargate, and try to switch tech into something that's less easily countered.
Yeah, I think he should have been trying to switch into something like Colossus or Storm. Of course, both of those are going to take a long time, but he had a really large sentry count. If he could delay with the sentries, maybe try and get that out, he would have been doing much better, but just straight up Phoenix into 6 gateway. When your opponent makes a lot of Hydras, the gateway pushes just don't work. So a little bit of a misstep there from San. Red is going to win that game and even out the series 1-1. Red did a really good job there of scouting and playing really well, and San, it seemed like he had a plan that he wanted to do and just didn't adjust it when things started to go bad. So hopefully he'll play a little bit better in game number 3 once we get that going.
He wasn't really as responsive as he should have been because, when you have an Overlord parked over your tech, it's not like Colossus where, if you see Colossus coming, well, I guess we'll play normal. If you see a Stargate and you see Phoenix coming, you get Hydras fast enough that there's really... the Phoenixes are going to be useless, so he should have switched tech. Also, he should not have put down 5 gates at once when, he was vulnerable to counterattack because he didn't do any damage to Rhett in the early game. So Rhett powered ahead of him and was going to have plenty of units, so that was a bad time to put down so many gates at once. And then really didn't defend with the sentries, although sentries aren't terribly great against Hydras, especially with the speed upgrade anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if he was going to try and defend with the sentries, he's probably going to have to make better usage of that Guardian Shield, just because of the really high rate of fire, but Just a really difficult game there for Sun. We're going to take a quick commercial break while we load up the third and final game in this series. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back with the final game between San and Rhett in just a moment. It's been a good series so far, and we'll see how game number 3 goes.
Ready when you are.
I'm just loading it up right now. Ooh, Tal'Darim.
Rhett played so beautifully that last game. Like he made the perfect decisions actually to counterattack with pure Hydras, no roaches, because he knew that there was no way San could have Colossus since he did go with Stargate tech. So a pure Hydra, huge DPS against gateway units, huge DPS against anything that comes out of a Stargate. Really perfect decision making.
Yeah, if it's a later, like, Stargate, going for Corruptors is probably a better idea because of the whole, well, you know, if he gets a lot of Phoenixes and then transitions into something else, your Hydras are in a lot of trouble, but since it was so early, Rhett was just like, okay, I make Hydras and kill you.
It was only tech. He had one Gateway, one Stargate. And Rhett's just like, well, I think I know what you've got.
Yeah.
Nothing. Let me go.
He did a really good job there. I'm just waiting for everybody to return from the commercial. Should be coming back right about now, so welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Are you ready to get going on game number 3?
Yep.
Alright, so let's get going in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, everyone, welcome back. This is Railcoon with Elaine Sun for iCCup Television. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks, Elaine, for coming along, helping us out today with the casting. We've got game number 3 between San and Rhett in the Gigabyte Stars War 6 round of 32. This is the last day of matches in the round of 32, and San and Rhett have it all tied up. This is going to be the deciding game. Winner goes on to the round of 16, so this is a really important game. And now we're on Tal'Darim Altar. We saw 2 very different games in the first two that we did see, and now we've got cross spawns on Tal'Darim. We have seen San going really trying to get those fast expansions, even in really risky situations. He seems really determined to drop that pylon, get his Nexus out as soon as possible, and go for that macro game. So he has shown a very, aversity to aggression so far, and we'll see what Rhett does on Tal'Darim, because in that situation, as a Zerg player, you can just drop a lot of hatcheries, especially if you're Rhett, and just say, okay. And then take it to the late game and just be a macro monster. So we'll see if he does that, because it's definitely within his ballpark to make that